Filip Hrgovic to replace Dillian Whyte for the Joyce fight. Uh, I don't see why not. I mean, if it was for the sake of saving a card, that's one thing. But then the question is, who else is on the card that makes the card the card? You know, those guys have mutual opponents. They both fought Zhilei Zhang. They both fought Daniel Dubois. I don't see why they couldn't. I don't see why they shouldn't. In fact, since Filip Hrgovic has stepped back on the scene, if you guys don't know, he just had a child and he's been doing a lot of family stuff. He's been also training. So I think he's good to go. I mean, I think, you know, he's going to be who he's going to be. He took his first L to Daniel Dubois, which it was a good fight for a while, I think, until he got cut. And fighting someone like Joyce, I mean, I would see why not. And I think this would be a good barometer for Joe to see if Joe still has the jaw, to see if he can still take punches, because one thing about Filip's going to punch you in the face. He's an offensive fighter. You know, he might be kind of awkward and he might not have the skill set, and we seen that against Dubois because, you know, the defense just wasn't there. It was just like, you hit me, I hit you, you hit me, I hit you kind of shit. You know, that fight was just full of that. But at the end of the day, I think that Filip versus Joyce would be a good fight because none of these guys know defense. So if you got two offensive fighters that don't really care about defenses, well, you got a pretty entertaining fight. You know what I'm saying? You know, they'll fight and they might avoid some huge shots, but they ain't caring about getting hit. So you should see a nice little banger there. Whereas Dillian Whyte would be a good fight, but then Dillian Whyte, I feel, based on how he was, I think he should just really be, honestly, he should just really be in a whole nother class. You know, it's amazing, though, how in the last 2 years, 3 years, these fighters have just fell off. Think about it. Dillian Whyte, he got beat by Povetkin, and that was pretty much that first straw, that second strike on him, because that was his second loss. But then it was like the way he got knocked out, people really start looking at him like, whoa, you know, this guy really has a weakness with his chin and stuff. So, but he was always, you know, supposed to have been on that level of fighting guys like Wilder. He got the Tyson Fury fight. He fought Anthony Joshua. You know, he's beat guys like Joseph Parker, which is up there right now, you know, with the top guys. So, you know, that being said, based on his experience, Dillian Whyte should be doing more. You know, my thing is, though, I just hope, and this is going to sound strange, but I just hope Dillian Whyte was just faking the injury so he wouldn't fight Joyce. And the reason why is because I think he did that with Otto Weiland. I think he did that with Otto Weiland. And because of that, you know, he wanted to set himself, you know, and you know, make himself available and free himself up for the fight with Tyson Fury, which he got $8 million to fight Tyson Fury. You know, the promotions and the build-up sucked because he didn't want to be a part of it, but, you know, he still got paid and the fight still happened. And Tyson Fury showed him why he's the Gypsy King and why he's just better than Dillian Whyte. However, you know, Dillian Whyte, I feel, should be, you know, a part of that Turki al-Sheikh crew, but, you know, he's not. So, you know, I'm wondering, that's kind of weird, but nonetheless, yeah, let's see it. I would like to see Filip Hrgovic versus Joyce. Why not? You know, he's not a bigger name, or, you know, he doesn't have that namesake, you know, like Dillian, but, you know, he's a part of that whole Riyadh season. So, yeah. You know, in Turkey, I think he's pretty good at, you know, replacing fighters. Look at the Bakali Parker fight. So that really made more buzz than Joseph Parker versus Daniel Dubois, because when that fight was even being promoted, nobody really cared. They thought it could be a good fight until it didn't happen, and everyone started to give a shit about the fight. Which, if you notice that, like you know, and look, you guys don't lie. You guys know what you like, and the views don't lie. You know what I mean? So when when Martin McCauley was going to step in to fight Joseph Parker, the views shot up. Okay, so that being said, I look at that as an indication that, Martin McCauley fighting Joseph Parker was a lot bigger. What does that have to do with Filip Hrgovic versus Joe Joyce? Well, they have common opponents everywhere. Joe Joyce fighting Filip Hrgovic could be a better fight. Because Dillian Whyte's an entertaining fighter. I like how he fights. He likes a nasty scrap. So I don't want to take anything away from him, but Filip Hrgovic fighting Joe Joyce, that's going to be a good fight, man. I hope it gets made, and I hope he replaces it, because I think Filip, that's his opportunity to come back, and beat the guy. How does that go? He'll beat the guy that also beat the guy that he beat, which is Zhilei Zhang. So, take that for what it is, and that'll put him on a collision course back to where I guess he needs to be in the sport. But I hope it happens. You guys tell me what you think about Filip Hrgovic possibly being the replacement for Dillian Whyte in the Joe Joyce fight. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.